where we get to a place where we're just unmotivated to do, because it just seems like nothing's working. It seems like you're just watering dirt. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another vlog, and welcome back to another car talk. Now, I make this one short and sweet. I've been thinking about this all week, actually, and it's on the point of acting as if, right? Any of you that have ever gone through YouTube looking up stuff about manifestation, looking up stuff about mindset and how you can turn your dreams, goals, and desires into a reality, I can guarantee you've come across something that says you have to act as if the thing that you're desiring is already done, already there. And the information that you get on it, or the instructions that you get on how to act as if, is super vague. It doesn't really give you a proper in-depth explanation on how you act as if. Because if you take the information that they give you, you will act as if for a short while, but then you'll quickly fall off into the physical reality of you don't have the thing that you're asking for, right? And then you end up right back at square one, and you start repeating the cycle. So you get excited of the idea that you have it, you start to visualize it, seeing yourself with the thing that you desire, but then reality starts to kick back and say, what are you talking about? You don't have what it is that you're asking for. The thing you're asking for, you don't have it. So two things, and I have to throw the Bible scriptures in there because it's relevant to what it is that I'm talking about. So the first scripture, it says, and I'll reference the scripture below. The first scripture, it says, whatsoever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and you shall have it. And then the second scripture I want to talk about is faith. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen. So remember those two scriptures, because it's relevant to what I'm talking to you guys about right now. So the thing that I want to say going forward with this is that I've been in that place where I've gone through that cycle of the visualization, belief, and eventually falling off because reality starts to kick back and say you don't have what you're asking for. And I've gone through it to go and seen progress as far as have extended the time in which it takes between the belief, the action, and falling off. And if you've ever been through that cycle, comment down below. Let me know. Did you try to get back up and go again, or did you just give in and say, you know what, maybe it's not meant to be, and you just moved on to something else? What I've come to learn in doing this thing is that in order to continue in the belief, there's a few different things that have to be in place. So one is you have to operate with a level of understanding. So right before I hit the record button on the camera, I was kind of going over this in my head and just having a conversation with myself. And it was basically, I was reminded of a quote that I wrote in my book, Get in My Head. And the quote says this: the first results are often results that you cannot see. However, it doesn't mean that the results are not there. So whenever it is that you're setting out to do something, setting out to accomplish something, you've prayed for something, you've asked God for something, and you're believing that you have received it. Now it's time to put the faith into action and start doing what it is, start putting things in place, putting things in line to do, acting as if you have already received the thing that you're asking for. Operating with a level of understanding means that I've planted a seed and I've buried that seed in the ground, covered it over with dirt. Now, for the next couple of weeks or months or even a year plus, you are going to be watering what seems like dirt. And I'm not sure how many of you have ever really taken and looked at this and put it into perspective, or who have ever planted a seed before. But you plant something while you're watering, you're not visually watering the seed. You're just pouring water on what looks like dirt, right? So you're not really, hey, I'm seeing what's happening. Like, we have those cool videos nowadays where they have the glass and you can see what's happening under the ground with the seed once the shoot breaks out the husk, and how it's pushing through the dirt and everything until eventually it gets out the dirt, and now you can see it on top of the dirt. In reality, when you plant something in a pot, you're not seeing that. What you're watering is just dirt. And it's the same way with your goals. So when you're operating with a level or a spirit of understanding, you're operating knowing that, hey, I planted a seed, I'm watering it right now, but I know that I'm not going to visually see anything, but I'm operating with a spirit of faith, knowing that, hey, the seed is in the ground. If I continue to water it, if I continue to put fertilizer, if I continue to take these actions, eventually I will see something push out of the ground, right? And we get to that stage. Many of us, when you're planting, if you've ever planted something, you get to that stage and you're like, awesome. In your life, however, many of us don't make it through that stage to start seeing some results. Hence the quote that I referenced in my book, that the first results are often results that you cannot see. And when I was telling you, where if you've ever seen one of those videos with the glass and the seed, and now you can see once it breaks out the husk, all of those things are happening. Those are results. But those results, so even still, with operating with that level with that level of understanding, it's still difficult to continue acting as if, when in your life you're not seeing any results that anything is working or anything is going in your favor. So what ends up happening is we start stuff and eventually we put it down, or where we get to a place where we're just unmotivated to do, because it just seems like nothing's working. It seems like you're just watering dirt. Even though you know that, hey, if I do these tasks, if I continue doing with these tasks, eventually I will see the results of what it is that I'm doing. But it's still difficult to act as if, even with that level of understanding. And the reason why is because the thing that you're working on might be something that you're depending on also. So what ends up happening is like this. And any farmer will tell you, when you plant something and the first crops that you get, it's that first crops is not for you. You often have to replant a portion of those crops if you want to have more going into the future. Now, what ends up happening with many of us is we see some results. We start seeing a few things, but then you end up seeing some results, right? But those first results that you start seeing, it's not enough to supply for you. It's not enough to help you to make any significant change in your life. So what ends up happening? You put it down because you're saying, man, I worked so hard, I did so much, and this is all that I'm getting from it. And so you end up quitting before it actually can start producing fruit for you. Which is why, just the same way with planting the seed. You're planting the seed, you're watering it every day, you get up, early in the morning, you water it, you move it so it's in the sun, you make sure it's not getting too much sun, you put the fertilizer, you do all of these things, and once it starts pushing up out of the dirt, it's just a little tiny little plant, and you're like, that's it? Like, I've been doing all of this for months just for this? And so it's discouraging. It's the same way in your life. You've been, like YouTube right now. I'm posting videos on YouTube. Many people post videos on YouTube, and a lot of people, successful YouTubers that have 50,000 plus subscribers that are actually making money from YouTube, they tell you, hey, I had to make 100 plus videos. I had to make 1,000 plus videos, or 500 plus videos, 1,000 plus videos before anybody ever even noticed, before I even got a comment, before I even started getting any likes, before anything started happening. And, when it did start happening, it was just a little bit here and there, a little bit here and there. It was nothing significant. And I was working so hard, putting out 1 video a week, 2 videos a week, making sure that I was doing this, and this, going through the different, the looks, being outside, vlogging, and this, that, and the other, to not really have any results in the beginning. And a lot of people quit during that time, because it's hard to act as if you have a successful YouTube channel. It's hard to act as if you have a successful business. It's hard to act as if you have a successful book, magazine, whatever it is that you're doing. It's hard to act as if the thing that you've been asking God for is already successful, when you're not seeing any type of results and you're putting in so much work. It's discouraging, and it doesn't motivate you to want to continue, especially if you're in a position where you need this thing to work. You don't have any other thing, like it's all or nothing. And that's the second point that I want to get into. The thing that you are asking for, that you're praying for, that you're working towards, it's best that you don't depend solely on that thing. There's another scripture that I wanted to reference. It says, cast your bread among the waters, because you don't know what will come back to you first. You don't know what will work first, whether one or the other or both will work at the same time. It simply means that, basically, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You want to try to put your hand in as many things as you can, or more than one thing, right? You don't want to spread yourself too thin, and you don't want to limit yourself. So it's simply saying put your hand at a few different things, because you don't know which one is going to work first, and you don't know which one will work at all, whether one or the other or both will work at the same time for you. So I say that to say, we have times where the thing that we're looking to work for us, we don't give it enough time to work, and then we put so much dependency on it that when it doesn't produce like how we want it to, we throw it away for the next thing that promises to produce in a shorter amount of time. And when we see that thing doesn't produce as much as we want it to, we go to the next thing, and to the next thing, and to the next thing. And you develop that shiny object syndrome, right? But here's the thing. One, you cannot rush the thing that you are asking for. Just like when you plant that seed, watering it more, throwing more fertilizer on there, putting it in sunlight all day is not going to make it grow faster, right? You put too much water on it, you'll drown it. You put too much fertilizer, you can poison it. So you don't want to try and overwork the thing that you're doing. You want to give it enough time to produce what you are looking for it to produce. We all know the story about the bamboo, right? Chinese bamboo. When you plant it, I think it's for the first 4 years or something like that, you don't see nothing. There's no visible growth outside the ground at all. It's just growing deeper and deeper and deeper, creating a foundation. When it finally does push out the ground, though, in a matter of months, I think it is, or weeks, it shoots up. So was it 7 feet? Comment down below and let me know if the numbers are off. I believe that they are, but you guys know the reference that I'm trying to make. The thing that you're working on, again, going back to operating with the understanding, is that it might not show any results right away. It might not show any promise that there's anything happening right away. But if you continue with the activities that you know will produce the results, once the results start producing, it produces in such a quantity where it's like, man, where has this been the whole entire time? It makes the time that you were being diligent in your actions seem like it was nothing. That wasn't too long to wait, because this is the results that it produced. So acting as if is about operating with a level of understanding, operating with a level of patience, operating with a mindset where this isn't my only thing. This is a thing, but it's not the only thing. And so you have to learn to really put yourself in that position where you're not solely dependent on this one thing, and you know that doing the actions will eventually produce the results that you want.